timekeeper is 7 to 9 minutes, which is not what's in the book for that project, but who cares? It's Rich Bassemir. Right. Come on down.
Imagine, if you will, it's a sunny spring afternoon, and you're laying in the backyard in a hammock. Out in the sun, it's not too hot, not too cold, a slight breeze, very comfortable. Maybe you even have a book, reading a good mystery book. And your eyes are getting a little heavy, so you set the book down and you close your eyes. And you're just listening to the sounds and the smells. It's like heaven, so peaceful. And you start to slumber and fall asleep, and all of a sudden there's a sharp sting in your arm, and instinctively you hand it over, slaps your arm. Your eyes open, you see a circle of blood and a mosquito that's so flat it's hardly recognizable. How can something so small turn your heaven into a hell? The mosquito, which is Spanish for little fly, in my book, it's called little pain in the backyard. The female is called an ectoparasite, and she has this phobetus that pierces your skin, sucks out your blood, and then she digests that while her eggs develop. Do you know a female mosquito in her lifetime can carry 100 to 200 eggs? So consider this. The next time you smack down a mosquito, you just wiped out a branch of her family tree. The eradication of these pests is a multi-million-dollar business. And after pints of blood and untold sums of money, I have done research to come up with a solution that I think is the best solution. And I hope to persuade you to use my solution. But before we do this, let's think a little bit about the mosquito. The mosquito, like you and me, has their favorite places to eat. Did you know a mosquito likes or prefers O-type blood? Now, unfortunately, those with O-type blood, you can't get a transfusion to change your blood type. Mosquitoes also like heavy breathers. Now, let me tell you, nothing kills a romantic interlude outdoors than a bunch of mosquitoes. Apparently, the mosquitoes are attracted by the CO2 that we exhale. So one of the things that you might want to do to control how your CO2 is dispersed is to wear something like this. The problem is this kind of puts a damper in any romantic interlude. Mosquitoes also like heavy sweaters. People with a lot, not heavy sweaters, but people like sweaters. Now, most of us, when we're out in public, we tend to avoid that person that might have a little bit of body odor. Not the mosquitoes. That's where they go. But sometimes we're outdoors exercising, and it's not always possible, to take a shower. So when you're outdoors, you may want to carry a little body spray, and after a little exercise, give you a shove to help avoid mosquitoes. But at the end of the day, you have to resort to something over the counter. You have to spend your hard-earned money to try and eradicate these pesky predators. So I've got some things here that I want to share with you, and we'll talk about their pros and cons. Now, first of all, you have pump sprays. Skin so soft and off, and the problem with these is that when you put them on, you get all oily. And then anything you touch, and if you go in the pool, you leave like an oil slick. That's not good. An alternative, of course, is your aerosol cutter. The problem with this is that when you spray, half of it goes on your arm, the other half is just flying away. What a waste of money. Yeah, not a good solution. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard of the citronelle candle, right? The problem with this is it has to be lit in order to work. Of course you say, Rich, but the problem in my backyard, the wind keeps blowing it out. I have to keep lighting and blowing it out. So instead, I came up and decided to try these mosquito coils. The advantage with these is once you light them, the wind cannot blow them out. And as a matter of fact, the more the wind, the faster it burns. Unfortunately, if you're around this for any length of time, when you come indoors, you smell like a campfire. It's a disadvantage of that. Nowadays, there's an electronic solution for everything, right? So, of course, there's an electronic solution. Here we have the Mosquito 2000. You hold the button, you swat those little boogers, and it just fries them instantly.
Yes.
The problem with this is it requires batteries. And you have to keep getting batteries. And the other thing, if you're out picnicking and you're eating with one hand and swatting with another, you know. And finally, I'm a firm believer that the smell of fried mosquitoes actually attracts more mosquitoes. Now there are some non-traditional solutions. One of my favorite. Mega Hold Hairspray. Hair freezing Mega Hold. You say, what, Rich? No, really. You spray the mosquitoes, those wings can no longer flap. And they drop like a fly. Like a rock. The problem with this is that you got to be careful where you point it. One time I sprayed it, got in my face, and froze my eyelashes to my eyebrows. How about this one? Have any of you heard about dryer sheets? Reportedly, you can take a dryer sheet and stick it in your pocket, and it'll keep the mosquitoes away. The problem is that you smell like laundry all the time. So, all these products, they have their limitations. They cost, they wear out, they make you stink. I came up with a better solution. I think it's the solution I like to persuade everybody to use. My solution is a bat. Not a baseball bat. You're not going to go around whack them. I'm talking about a flying bat. Do you know that bats eat hundreds of insects, mosquitoes, every night when they leave? They're nature's answer to mosquito control. You don't have to buy them, you don't have to feed them, you don't have to light them, they don't require batteries. But you do need a bat house. So, Rich, you can make a bat house. There you go. Here is one model of a bat house. All it takes is 5 pieces of wood, a front, a back, 2 sides, and a roof. The bats land on here, they crawl up into there. This particular size house will hold about 20 bats.
Oh, wow. Oh, no way.
You stink this way. Now you say, oh, Rich, I can't build a bat house. No, you don't have to build it. Amazon. You can get it from Amazon. I actually bought mine from Amazon. I do now have a bat house in my backyard. Outside the bat house is a vacancy. I encourage you all to put a bat house in there. Then you don't have to worry about all these things, these candles and birds. It's nature's answer to controlling mosquitoes. So now, all I have to do is wait for a bat family to move in. In the meantime, when I'm laying out in my hammock with a good mystery book, I'll just make sure to have my hair sprayed.